Greetings everyone. This is a demonstration video for Oil Trading Academy. We have a relatively unique situation. If you take a look at the 10-minute chart here, you'll see that oil closed at roughly 95.50 at the close of the USA session. Oil has opened up, or did open up I should say, at roughly a 200 penny gap up during the beginning of the Asian session, the lapse over, and then has opened up, and you see the 10-minute chart there. This is a unique situation relative to, or the cause is from the Middle East tensions, so oil has really picked up. As you can see on the daily chart, it has gone straight up. In situations like these, there's nothing to give you any kind of history. So it is a very unique and possibly a very rewarding situation to take advantage of. Oil may continue to go higher and higher, and you can catch entries and take some really big trades. And I will show you when I catch the top and I write it back down again. And I am looking at it right now, and I'm looking to see if I can get an entry using the incredible power of the secret code. So let me pause the video. I'm going to come back and see if I can get an entry somewhere. See what it tells me, if it's going to go up, if it's going to go down, what it's going to do. So I'm not going to guess the top. I'm going to have the code tell me the top. And I'm going to show you, for your own eyes, the power of the secret code. And as you can see via the videos here, which are HD format that you should be watching full screen at YouTube, this is Monday, or it's not. Monday, February 21st, 2011. And oil is hot. It is a hot potato right now in a major way. And this is not for newbies to trade right now. This is after you've gained some little bit of experience. But with the code, you could do it successfully. It's just you've really got to be on the ball. Let me pause the video. Whoa, you see it just jumped? See what it just did right there? Boom. You see that? Okay, I'm trying to get in here. Let me pause it. I'm trying to get in here at 91 now. I've got a buy order at 91. Buy order at 91. Come on, come get me. Oh, look at that. It just jumped up without me. Oh, man. The secret code saying it's going to go higher. I tried to get in right there, and I just missed it, as you saw. I may still get in. Let's see what happens. 96. 95. Come on down. 94. Come on down. 4 pennies. Give it a chance here. I don't want to chase it. I want it to come down to where I'm at. If I miss this, it's okay, because it'll give me another opportunity. If it's going to go up, it'll give me another opportunity. So I want to give it a chance here. Come on down. 3 pennies. Oh, jumped hard again. Boy, you know, okay, now look, now watch this now. If this thing just starts jumping up now and just starts taking off and starts going straight up, that is a good indicator that it is going to keep going higher, and that what we want to do is use the code for a second entry. Piece of cake. All you have to do is know the secret code, and I'll demonstrate that. See how it's going higher? Okay. If it keeps going, if it could come all the way back down right now, but if it keeps going, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and cancel my buy order at 91, canceling it now. Buy order is canceled at 91. Okay, it's moving up now. If it keeps moving up here, a little higher, I'd like to see it go up to like 97, 20, 25, or 30. And then come back down. And if the secret code gives me an entry, I'm going to take it going long. And at that point will be the point where it'll just basically take off and go up. And it could have a big trade on this. I could put it at $1 and possibly get it. Or maybe even more. Maybe $2, $3. I might as well go for something big. Because when this thing stretches out and goes up, you want to be able to get in on it. Well, where do you get in? Well, if you know the secret code, you can get in. Now, I just tried to get in here down at 91. And I came close, like 2 or 3 pennies away from my entry. And this would have a 20 penny exit on it, so it would be 97.11. Then I would get out. Did it make it there yet? I don't know if it made it there yet, but it came close. But, or maybe it did make it, I don't know. But in any event, you can see that I just barely missed that entry right there. But it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about it. I didn't chase it because there's a reason for that. I'll have a, if this is the bottom, over a little bit of time, I'm going to know that. And when the secret code gives me another entry, I'll be able to take a very safe quality entry back into this again. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as the entry is safe and it goes up from there. So I'm watching it. I'm looking for something, an entry, using the secret code, and I will record it for you and show it to you. I'll be back. Okay, this thing has just taken a beautiful dive. A very nice dive down. I'm freezing it, putting a buy order at 52 now. Okay, buy order at 52. Using the power of the secret code. 57, 56, come on down. Come fill me. Using the incredible, amazing power of the secret code. There I am. I'm filled at 52. Okay. Oh, I forgot to place my stops. Oh, man. Sell stop. Modify. 86.52. 86.32. Or 96.32, I mean. 96.32. Placing stop now. Placing stop now. Okay, I've got a 32 stop in place. I need to change my exit. Modify. This is going to be 96.52, 62, 72. 96.72, 96.72. Actually, I don't want to get out right there because this could be a huge bounce. Let me think about this. Let me go for 30 pennies. Let me go for 82. 82, modifying it now. 96.82, applying the exit now. Exit is at 82. Let's go check. Yep. And stop. Should have a 20 penny stop at 32. Correct. Okay. Now, preparing to adjust stop. Modifying stop. Stop break even will be 96.53. Changing to 96.53. Okay, let's see how it acts here. Let me take a look at the code. Hold on. Attempting to read the code. We should be okay here. I'm reading the code right now. We should be alright. This is okay because what's going to happen here, it's really pushing down here. If it were to push to my stop, I'm probably going to take another entry, but I doubt it's going to get there. It's going to start bouncing hard here. I'm just reading the code. It's going to start bouncing very, very soon. If I would have placed a break-even stop, all that would have happened is I would have gotten stopped out. Ooh, that came close. What did that come to? That was too close for comfort right there. Boy, is this thing really pushing down. What it's doing is it's going down and filling the gap, and I'm playing the wrong way. Oops. Let me go ahead and close this out. It's going to hit my stop anyway. I'm playing the wrong way. It's going to come down and fill the gap. That's my problem. So it's going against the code. Yep, there I'm stopped out. Alright. It just got me right there. Let me pause the video. I'm running out of time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this gap to fill, and then I'm going to play the... See, what could have happened is it could have come down halfway and then shot up. A lot of times it'll do that. This one's obviously going to fill all the way. So I'll wait for it to fill, and then I will use the code and get another entry. And this time it should be for a big ride back up again. I'm pretty sure. This will be a big ride back up, all the way back up to the top anyway, to go double top again. So that's a big ride. I shouldn't have gotten in the way of such a big gap. That was my problem. So that's okay. Down 20 pennies. I'll come back with a big trade and make it all back and much more. So let me pause the video. I'll be back. Okay, I am getting a short signal here using the secret code. I am wondering if I should chase it, try to get a better... I don't want to chase it. Ah, there it goes without me. I was going to try to get in at like 65. Let me wait. If I miss it and it comes down, I'll just miss it. I'll catch it somewhere else. But it might do something else and give me another entry, so I'm just going to wait for a little bit. I'll pause the video. Alright, it was going down. I was right about to say, it's going down, and then it just jumped back up. Alright, let me see if I can see an entry. Boy, this thing is, it's a real mover right now. It's a little bit tricky out there. Navigate these waters. A little bit of caution. I'm looking for something, for the secret code to tell me something. Starting to come down now. It's jumpy though. It's jumpy. I'm watching the code and it's definitely jumpy. But I don't have an entry yet. I'm just still looking. Let's see, it is going down here. I missed the entry. Just watching to see what it's going to do. It may pop all the way back up again. If it does, and I can get like a 64 entry, I'm probably going to take it. But we'll see what the code says. Oh, no, there it goes. Dropped out. I missed it. Should have been a little more aggressive on that. It was so jumpy, I wasn't sure what it was doing. I mean, the code did say it was going to go down, but it doesn't usually go down and then jump back up like that. It's very jumpy right now. It's because of this Middle East tension, and oil is just really, really jumpy. You can see what it's doing. It's a real hot potato right now. But I'm going to look for something good, and I'm going to get in, and I'm going to make some money here. So let me just use the code and get in. I would really prefer to wait until this is filled, this gap. That's why I wanted to get in short, so I could hopefully ride it all the way down. Okay, I'm back. I had a very long phone call there that I had to answer questions. You can see I lost the last trade. I'm 22 pennies down right now, and I'm looking to make another trade using the power of the secret code. I've got the 10-minute chart up as opposed to the daily, because the daily is just straight up, doesn't really show us much. The 10-minute is what I want to see right now, combined with the 1 minute. And we're going to use the secret code to start taking some entries. I believe oil is active enough. Even though it's the Asian market, oil has picked up from these Middle East tensions, and should be active enough to start taking entries. And I'm going to start taking some entries, showing the power of the secret code. Maybe I can get quite a few of them tonight. It would be wonderful to see the Asian market pick up again, because I can tell you this, for all of you newbie traders out there, this is the market you want to practice in. It's nice and slow and easy, follows the code perfectly. There's very little variance to it. It's a good market to practice in, and it's rare that you're going to see me take a loss of 22 pennies in the Asian market. I did because I made the mistake of two things. Number one, not waiting till the gap to get filled. Of course, that's a huge gap. So actually, it was right to take an entry. I just got the entry wrong. Take a look at this. I entered at, what did I enter at? I entered at 52, 96.52. So where's my entry? I got caught in this. That's where I got caught. So I got in at 96.52. I got in here, and then I got stopped out right here. And you can see the real entry was down here at 15. So if I could have got like a little better entry, let's say I could have got like a 30 entry. Well, 15, 25, 35. So I need to get below 35. I needed to get below 35. Anything below 35 and I wouldn't have gotten stopped out and I'd be in the trade. Be up right now. We'll see what the code says. But anyway, I missed it. Simple as that. But if I hadn't missed it, you can see what happened. After 15, it just kept bouncing all the way back up. Of course, at a 52 entry, I never would have had any kind of exit, though. I'd still be in it, though. I wouldn't be out. I'd be almost break even right here. I could decide on what to do based upon the code. And I'm trying to get a read on it, see which way it says it's going to go. My only concern is I'd rather go down than up, because the likelihood of this gap being filled is very high. And then sometime after that, it'll bounce and go back up at least to test this high. It may go even higher, but it will at least test this high again and come off of it and come down and come off of it and come down and then go break higher or come down at some point. These demo videos, I will walk you through the whole process, showing you that I know what it's going to do in advance most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And that my entries are correct to the point that most of the time I am able to get a break-even stop on the trade. So that at the worst case scenario, I'm just going to break even. I won't lose any money. That will happen. I will be able to put a break-even stop on the trades most of the time. Not all the time. By being able to do this over and over again with great consistency, well, I'll let the videos speak for themselves. Watching the code, I'm looking for an entry. Be back. Using the incredible, amazing power of the secret code, I'm now placing a short order at 60. And once filled, the code says that that's a short entry. The only question now is whether I'll be filled. So we'll find out. Oh, it just jumped up there to 55. Yep, 55 on the chart there, just jumped up to. May not go high enough. There's 55 again. You got a chance. Just 5 more pennies up. Pause the video. It just dropped. It was at 55 and then dropped down to 50. It's jumpy tonight. It really is. It's jumpy. It's jumping around. Who knows? Maybe it'll jump up there and come get me. Come get me in. Code still says it's going to go down. See, I'm looking to get in because if the code says it's going to go down, it could possibly, go down. But I need to get a good entry. I'm still waiting. If I miss it, I'll just catch another one. Okay, it's at 56. It's moving up here. Might come get me in. 4 more pennies. 3 more pennies. Come on. Three more pennies. Let's go. Pause the video. Hopefully it'll get me in. Okay, it just jumped up right there. Am I completely in? Yep, I'm completely in. So I'm in at 60. Secret code is saying it's going to go down. This particular one is a 20 penny trade. Need to adjust that. Buy stop 60 would be 80. It'll be 96.80. Applying that now. And the buy market would be 40. So 96.40. 96.40. Applying that now. Okay. Just to verify. 20 penny stop. 20 penny profit. That's what this particular one is, a 20 penny profit. So that will almost get me break even. I'll still be 2 pennies down. Now let me go ahead and take a look and see if it looks like I could possibly go for any more than that. 40 is here. Well, this is the thing. It's either going to go up from here or it's going to go down from here. Now, I know that sounds ridiculously... That's kind of a stupid statement. But it's true. Even though it is a stupid statement and it's because it's obvious, but it's still true. It's going to do one or the other. If it goes down from here, it could be a big trade. So, since I'm short, I might as well just stay short. So I'm going to just see how it acts, and I'll maybe possibly go for something larger. If it goes up from here, this thing's going to zoom up. I'm reading the code to see what it's saying. Remember, the code is always changing. So if it does change, you definitely want to know about it, so that you could go with it. Go with the change. I'm reading the code, and I'm going to get another read on it. Let me pause the video. Yes, so far, the code still seems to be indicating down. Now, it's possible that this could really start to drop out. And if it does, I'm going to change the exit. This depends how it acts. So I will pause the video and give you the next reading on the code that I see. Let's see how it acts here. You know, I may just go ahead and this is something that you should, especially you beginners, to pay attention to. I'm down a trade, right? Well, it's always good to just, instead of going for something, just to take a trade for break even. Because you know what? No matter what this thing does, the code is going to give me another entry again, whether it's to go up or down or whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't need to get some big, huge trade. I don't need it. What I need to do is just get under control, get back even again, or be really close to it, and then go in there and look for the code again and take another successful trade. That's all I got to do. That's easy to do. It's much harder to get a successful trade from here to here. And there's no way, I cannot get a macro code right now, so there's no way I could know whether or not that's going to do it. It could just as easily go up as far as, there's no way for me to know. It's 50-50 either way. So I'm just going to go for a 20 penny trade as the secret code says to go for. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be out at 40. Pause the video. Oh, I'll put a break-even trade on this as soon as I'm out ahead about 10 pennies or so, which I'll show to you when I do. Oh, by the way, I am reading the secret code. It is again saying that it's going to go down. So my position is a good one. And I'm pausing the video. Oh, by the way, this is good to point out. For those of you who know the secret code, I want you to take a look at the code right now and notice what it's doing. On this particular one, if you I can't say exactly what it is without giving away the code, but just take a look at it, analyze it for a moment, see what it's doing, and I just want to point out that this is a very good one, because what it's showing you right now, what it's indicating right now, is a very strong indicator that it's going to go down. Very strong. And it's a very strong indicator that it's going to make that 20 pennies with no problem at all, by the way the code is setting up. So, and as a matter of fact, very shortly, it should start doing exactly that. It should just start coming down and go to the exit. This is the type of, and you're going to see this a lot. I just dropped a little bit there. But you're going to see this a lot, where this code will let me hold on one second. Let me take a look at the code for a second. I need to pause the video. Okay, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the code at the moment. The code is possibly indicating that it's going to go back up again. If that be the case, I want to get a protective stop on it. So, buy stop is at 80, modifying that now to 96.59. 96.59, putting a protective stop on it now. Okay, protective stop is in place. Now, if it goes back up and the code is right, and it's going to, the code is not really strong, I'm not certain about it, but I think it might be saying it's going to go up. I'm not sure. So when I'm uncertain like that, I just play protective immediately. If it does go back up, I won't lose anything on this trade. No worries. If it does continue to go down, then it'll get me out at 40. So whatever it does, it's going to do, and it's no big deal whichever way it goes. If it breaks me even, it's just another break-even trade. I got lots of those. If it goes down to here, it's just going to get me out for 20 pennies. I got lots of those. But the trade is under control now. And whatever the outcome is, no matter what, I won't lose anything. That's the important thing. To always be under control and to always follow the code. Pausing the video. Show you the outcome of the trade. Just remember that each trade is just a mathematical possibility. It's not a mathematical certainty. And, so don't try to win every trade. You do that, you're in big trouble. Just always play. Well, you're going to see how I play over and over and over again. All the people who don't know about the code, they're going to see how I play over and over and over again and say, wow, whatever he's doing, that really works. And it does. But for you who know the code, you've already seen how I play, but now you're getting even more experience by seeing how I play even more on many more trades. This should be invaluable information to you, to those of you who already know the code, to see this experience over and over and over again. Pausing the video. Okay, one of the things I see a lot of newbie traders do is, say I was just down here to 50, right? And let's say now this thing is going to go all the way back up here, come get my break even stop, and I'll break even, right? And then people will say, well, why didn't you just get out for the 10 pennies? Well, it's so easy to say that, okay? And I've tried various methods of playing, and I'm just telling you right now, you watch these videos over the long run, you will see by going for them every time, you will make them so many times that it's definitely worth it. You want to go for them every single time. If you ever get out early, like let's say you try to lock in 10 pennies or something like that and tighten up a stop, it'll just come back and get your stop. You'll be out for 10 pennies and you'll miss the 20 penny trades. It happens a lot. So just every time you just go for them, just playing the same way every time. There's 10 penny trades, there's 20 penny trades, there's 100 penny trades with the macro code. You just go for them every time. I mean, imagine what it's like to be in a macro code and it goes 90 pennies, only got 10 more pennies to go, did not get you out, but you don't get out, and then it goes all the way back to break even. I mean, with the macro code, you can lock in some pennies, lock in 20, lock in 30, lock in 40, lock in 50. You can do that. But with these 20 penny trades, you have no room in which to do that with. You either go for them or you don't. So for me, it's either a break-even trade or 20 pennies every time. But it works. So, I mean, of course, it works only because of the code. That's why. Pausing the video. So what I'm trying to say is that if this goes all the way up and catches me break even, it's not going to bother me one bit. I can also use the code to either pull my stop or to get back in, depending upon the code. Also, the only way to make it to the exit to get 20 pennies is to always go for it. Because if you don't always go for it, what's going to happen is you're going to get out early out of fear. And it takes all the guesswork away. You play like a robot, without emotion, without caring. You don't care. It makes it here, you don't care. It makes it here, you don't care. Doesn't matter. Because a certain percentage of time it's going to make it here, and a certain percentage of time it's going to make it here. And there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is get out early. Not recommended. Either break even or make your 20 pennies. It's all basic mathematics. The philosophy of looking at it mathematically. Pausing the video. It's definitely jumping around. It jumped down to like 47 maybe, or 48. And there it goes jumping around again. Well, as long as it wants to jump down, I'm not going to complain. Not going to, won't bother me. Should be able to make that 40 exit. But, like I said, if it doesn't, I don't care. Because it'll either make it or it won't. That's how I play, and it works. I strongly recommend you adopt something similar or the same because it works. 2 more pennies to go. 1 more penny to go. I have faith. It'll make it. Of course, I always say that, don't I? And then I'm wrong a certain percent of the time, and I'm right a certain percent of the time. I think I'm right more than I'm wrong, though. Well, actually, I know I am. Okay, so I gotta wait a little bit longer. Let me pause the video. Came within 1 penny. Do you think it bothers me? Okay, you're right, it bothers me. I'm kidding. It'll make it, trust me. It'll probably go down 100 pennies after that. And then I'll say, why didn't I stay in this trade? I know why, I'm just trying to get my 20 pennies, that's all. Pause the video. Like, I bet if I were to go lock in 10 pennies right now, the thing would come back up, hit my 10 pennies, then go back to the exit. I mean, I've seen it do that more times than I could count. Put it at break even, though, and you're okay. Most of the time. So you see, just came 1 penny away again. A lot of traders would just be like, oh, I'm getting out right here. It's bouncing off the low. And you may be right. But I'm stubborn. I'm going to stay in it, and I'm going to get my 20 pennies. Because that's just the way I play. Unless the code were to tell me it's going to go back up. The code has not told me that yet. So if it does tell me that, by all means, I will get out. But it hasn't told me that yet, so I'm not going to get out. Pausing the video. Coming close to my stop. Going to make me pay the price. There it goes. There's my stop hit. It's okay. Watch this. I'm going to make another trade. And this time I'll get it right. Piece of cake. Watch this. 65 is my entry. Going with the power of the secret code. Trying to read the code for a second here. Okay, I'm trying to get in at 65. Pause the video. It's at 63, 64. 1 penny. Pausing video. It's coming down a little bit here. It's at 60. Still got a chance to get filled. Not going to chase it. Just going to keep my 65 entry there. Still a good chance. Pausing video. That last trade, I should have had it. You know. But you can see the 1 minute chart just shot way up. Came and got me. All I can say is that doesn't usually happen. I mean, it happens to me, but it's happened like twice now in these videos, and it doesn't usually happen anywhere near that often. So, as we go along with future videos, you'll see. Still waiting for an entry. Okay, I'm canceling the short order at 65. Short order canceled. Looking at the code, trying to read it. You know, the code, it's changing. It's changing. I think the code is saying it's going to go up. And if that be true, right where it's at, it means it's going to go break. The high is 66, 65. 65 is the high. We're at 63 now. Hold on a second, trying to read the code. Trying to read the code here. No, it's not going to break. Nope, it's not going to break. It's going to go down. The code is saying it's going to go down again. Is that right? Yes, that is right. That's correct. Hang on. I'm preparing to short. Now, I don't have to go out on a limb right here. I can wait for it to start to go down and then short, you know, after it goes down a little tiny bit. It's not as if it's moving really fast or anything like that. And you can also see the bid and the ask is really tight. Let me just see what it's going to do. I believe the code is indicating it's going to go down. Let me pause the video. Yeah, it's starting to go down a little bit here. There it goes. What was the high? 64 was the high. Let me try to get in at... Hang on a second. I'm trying to read the code here. You know, the code is a little bit funny right now. Something peculiar about it. Doesn't look quite right. I am going to stay out right now. The code looks a little bit weird to me. It's like it looks like it might be changing. I'm not sure. Like it's going to reverse and go back up now. So I'm going to stay out right now. I'm going to wait and see what it does and see what the next signal it gives to me, whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. Because if this thing breaks and goes up, it could go up a lot, as you can see from the 10-minute chart. This thing could just really take off. So that could be a big trade if we can catch the break. But I need to do it via the code. So let me just watch it for a little bit and see what it's going to do. And I'll take the next good one I can see. Pausing the video. For those of you who are familiar with the secret code, you could take a look at the charts now. Take a look at the code, and I want you to see what it looks like. You see the 10-minute right there? The daily the daily's meaningless. It's just straight up. It's meaningless. But the 10-minute you can see here. See, it's just barely starting with the green. See how we're up here at the top of the chart? You see the code? This is possible. It's going to go into trend mode, go against the code, go into trend. I'm about to take the break. If this is it, it looks like it is. To me, it looks like it is, and I wanted to point it out to you before it ever happens, so that you could see what it looks like before it happens. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like when we are about to go into trend mode, going up. This is the Asian session. You can see the chart. Monday, February 21st, 2011. You're seeing the code, you're seeing the chart. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like when it's about to go up and go into trend mode for the Asian session. Now we'll see if that actually happens, and we'll use the code and the break for the entry. Pause on the video. You can see that it did not break. However, we may get a long entry. So, again, like I keep saying, it doesn't matter what it does, because the code will always give us an entry, one way or another. So I'm waiting. Pause the video. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, I may be able to catch the top on this soon. Well, not the top. I mean that right there, the daily. I mean, it may get a short entry on it soon. And if so, it's a long ways to come back down. I'd love to get a 200 penny trade out of it. Possible break coming here. You know the code, take a look at the code. 65 is actually the high, so that would actually be considered the break. It may go and break and go into trend mode. If it does, this will be the first one. So this, as you know from the code, you always want to take the first one. So, and in this case, we'll be going with the trend, because I think it's safe to say that the trend is up at the moment, and we'd be going with it. It would not be considered a secret code trade, but it would be considered a trade using the secret code to make a trade with. 65 is the high. You see the code. Possible break coming. If it breaks 65, I'm going to enter at market and get in around 68 or so. If it were to go backwards after that, I would get out. But if this breaks, it should keep on going using the code. And you can see on the 10-minute here that it could bounce quite a ways. Pausing the video. Okay, the code is possibly indicating that this is going to go down. However, I'm not going to take it. I still think the chances of it going up higher are too great. Even though I could take it right now very easily, and if it does come down, I'll have a winner, and if it does go up, I can just get out for a small loss, I just decided I'm going to pass on this one. Because I can see the code very well, better than a beginner, obviously, and I can see it coming, where it's going to move higher. And as soon as it does break, I'm gonna take it. So, and if I'm wrong, no big deal. I'll just wait for the code to give me an entry. Because maybe soon it'll give me an entry to go long, and then I can just hold it down here somewhere and let it go break and just hold it for like maybe 100 pennies. Put a 100 penny X on it. Not even a macro code. So, whatever it does, it'll give me something. Pausing the video. Okay, it just shot up there to 65. This could be the possible rake. I'm looking for it here now. I am prepared to buy it. 65 is the high, so that would technically be the break. Look at the code right now. You can see how a break can come. If a break comes, you simply use the secret code as an entry. Kind of like, if it's not positive, it's negative. Preparing to buy, preparing to buy. Buying now. Okay, I got in a little bit late there. That's not what I wanted. I got in a little bit late. Now what I needed to do is keep on going here now, and then I'll put a protective stop on it. 20 pennies puts me back at 50. Where does that put me at? That puts me all the way down to here. That's not a bad spot. That's really not that bad of a spot. Because if I've got this thing going into up mode now, even if it comes back 10 pennies or so, I should be okay. But what I'd really like it to do is continue now, not come back down. It just caught me right up there, right at the high too, and I got in at market. That's the problem with going with the breaks. But if this one's real, which I think it is, it's just going to continue to go higher, and I'm going to have a big trade here. In fact, let me go ahead and adjust the exit now, because if this is what I think it's going to be, I'm going to change it to 100 pennies, 96.70 to 97.70. 97.70. Okay, changing the exit to 97.70 now. Okay, exit is adjusted to 100 pennies. Stop should still be at 20. At 50, that's correct. I am in on the break and hoping that it goes higher here. The code will give me another reading soon. Oh, there it goes. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. Stand by, adjusting stop to 71. Preparing to adjust stop, 96.71. Adjusting stop now. Stop is now at 71. I'm in with the break. I'm in on trend mode. Now all we need is a continuation of this, and I could have 100 pennies very, very easily. However, there's a major risk of this coming back right now and hitting my stop. It's probably going to continue higher, but there's a major risk of it coming all the way back to hit my stop. If I can avoid that and this thing continues higher, I could have a 100 penny trade like it was nothing. But no matter what happens, I can't lose now. So at least I got a safe trade. I got a chance to make it, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. That was a good shot to go for it. It was at the beginning of the first break. Remember in my advanced videos, I teach to only go for the first break. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. There's no way to know that. The percentage on this trade, can't really say. It looks pretty good, but on these breaks, you can never be for sure. Even using the code, you can never be for sure. So that's why I have a break-even stop on it. I will not take a chance on this trade. Either continue up or I'll break even, whichever. If the code tells me to get out, because this is, possibly going to go down, I will get out. But right now, You see that right there? There is no telling how high that might go. No telling. And I just used a key entry point to get in. I'm not going to let it go now unless I get my 100 pennies. Or unless the code tells me to let it go, to get out. Right now, this thing is a hot potato. I've got a position. I'm up. Now I want to let this thing run. They say, let your winners run. Well, this is the perfect example of a winner to let run. Right there on a 10-minute chart. I mean, normally I would be like, no way am I going to buy a daily chart like that. But, there are times not to fight it and times to go with it. This is one of those times right now. My exit is set at 97.70 right there for 100 pennies. So, let me go ahead and pause the video now. You just saw me take a successful break. It remains to be seen whether it will remain successful. It looks good so far. I'm holding it. I'm not getting out. I'm not going to take my profit that I've got right here. I could just take it and just guarantee to be green right now. I'm not going to take it. Why? Because of mathematics. The mathematics of this trade says there is a good chance of me making it to where I want to make it to. Back up top to 97.70. I'm going to go with the mathematics. I always go with the mathematics. And mathematically, I come out ahead. So, watch. And learn. And see. I'm showing you. Pause the video. Okay, I do have a secret code right now indicating that it is possibly going to move down. However, this is what's called a temporary secret code. What that means is that for the most part, it's only temporarily going to go down. So a standard trade for this would be 10 pennies. That's why you only go for 10 on a temporary code. Okay. That's why I'm not going to exit this, because it's only a temporary down. Now, if I get a main code that says it's going to go down, I will exit. Have not gotten that yet, and if I do, I will show it to you. And exit, of course. But I think right now, my 100 pennies is probably in the bag. And keep in mind something. Keep in mind something. This is the Asian market I am trading right now. The Asian market. And I'm going for 100 pennies. Anybody want to say hello to the oil market again? Anybody ready for $5 gap ups and $5 gap downs that get filled that same day for $5? You want to ride a $5 gain in one day? I'm not talking about 24 hours. I'm talking about the same session from when the USA opens to the USA closes, and make a $5 gap trade play. $5 in one session. Are you ready for that? Well, that may just be coming again with all this Middle East tension. I don't know what's going to happen, but if that happens, oh man, you guys are going to freak out. You won't even believe it. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. And you're going to want to learn the secret code. And you're going to want to learn the macro code. Because instead of making $1 exits, you can make $3 exits standard. And go for $5 exits a lot of times on your big gap trades. But just because you know that doesn't mean you can do that. You have to be able to get the right entry. You can only do that with consistency using the secret code. Pause the video. By the way, you see how the secret code, the temporary secret code said it was going to go down? Notice how it hasn't gone down at all. At least so far. That, so far, is a good sign. That means even on a code, even though it's just a temporary code, only good for 10 pennies, even on a temporary code for 10 pennies, you can't even get that. It won't even go down 10 pennies, even when the code says it's going to. You know what that means? Going higher. Pause the video. For those of you who know the code, take a look at what's happening. You can see it moving up here. You can see what it's going to do before it does it. It's going to stretch out. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be all over this. I'm all over this trade. Come on. Let's go. And you know what? I'm not even going to get greedy. You know, I'm just going for 100 pennies. I'm not even greedy about this at all. Just going for 100 pennies. Why? Because I don't need to go for any more. I'll be able to get the next entry right and the next entry right. And if I lose one here and I lose one there, even if I lose 2 in a row, it doesn't matter. Because by far I'll get more entries right than wrong. Using the code. And so can you if you know the code. Pausing the video. See what happens here. We'll see what the code says, up or down. Pausing the video. And newbie traders, they'd be in a position like this, and you'd think to yourself, oh, but what if it goes down? You know, my profit will be gone, you know? What if it goes down, then, you know, blah, 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 right? I mean, hey, and guess what? This may go back down on me and go all the way back down to my break-even stop and get me out break-even. I mean, seriously, it happens. But guess what? Do you know how you make it to a 100 penny exit? Well, first of all, you have to know that you can make it there. And I know that I can make it there. Number 2, you have to go for it. If you don't go for it, you don't make it. So, you've seen me go for things and not make it. It happens. But I also go for things and make them. And I make them often enough to make it worth it just to go for them every time. Can't keep second guessing yourself all the time. But my system of trading, the code, is set up in such a way so that you do make it most of the time. These are all calculated trades. Every single one of them. Nothing arbitrary about it. Positive. Oh, by the way, for those of you who know the code, you saw how it broke through the code and went into trend. We can assume now it's in trend mode. The chances of it breaking through the code and going into trend and then all of a sudden going back into the code again is not very good. From this point forward, the code should just point to the direction that it's going to go, which is going to be up. So that's all you're looking for. And or the code will go up and then just not obey the code, just go into trend, keep into trend. It's easy to see. Just all you have to do is just look at that. Pausing the video. Oh, 08 is the break. Here comes the break. It's going to do it. The code says, the code doesn't say it's going to do it, but I can see by the code that it is. It's going to go break. There it goes. I don't know how high it's going to go, but we'll see. I'm almost to 1 hour here, which is 4 parts. I'm going to have to make this 5 parts. Because I really want to show this to you. It's going to help you to learn. You know, to see this action taking place. And to see, I mean, because like, you know, you might say, oh, you know, why don't you just get out here? Maybe it's making a top. It's not. The mathematical chances of it going higher right now, based upon the code, is very good. So I'm just holding it. And the code will tell me if I should get out or not. So I'm just holding it. And there's a good chance I'm going to make my 60 penny, my 100 penny exit here very soon. Pausing the video. You know what? Since I'm going to go 5 parts anyway, I might as well let you watch this. And we'll count this last part as being the exit for this trade. Because most likely, this will either go to my exit at 60 or it's going to come close. At which point, I'm just going to get out manually. I'll just get out manually if it doesn't hit my exit. I mean, like if it, let's say it goes to 50, doesn't quite make 60, I'll just get out for 90 pennies. Starting to dip here. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to go for this dip. I'm not going to get out. Dipping here is actually a good thing. Or stretching up and shooting up really high is a good thing. Either or. All that matters is that it makes it to my exit. Not that I get out early. I take an early trade. I mean, obviously I could get out right now for a very nice profit, but the mathematics are still too high for it to make my exit. You can see where the high is on the 1 minute chart. It's up at 25. That's where the high is at. Okay, looking at the code, reading the code here. There is a chance for another break. Looking at the code. If it does break 25 high, 35, 45, 55, it's got 35 more pennies to reach to my exit. It's possible. I could very well get it here. We could get a big move up here. And like I said, if I come close, I'm going to get out manually. Not going to take that risk. And I may even short. Just depends what the code says. Let me pause the video here. I don't want it to go too long. It was just at its high right there, 25. I don't want to get in the way of the train. You don't want to get in the way of the train. And this thing has been a train. Pause in the video. Okay, it's breaking again. Broke the high. It's now at the high, 28, 30. I'd like to see a big move up to my exit. Again, I may short. The chances of it moving higher is very high. I mean, you know, some people would look at the chart and say, well, duh. But seriously, I mean, I'm reading the code right now. I'm not reading just what the chart says. Pause the video. By the way, you can see I got in here at 70 right when it broke and broke this high up here, and then it just kept on going, and I could place a you know, like a protective stop, let's say just 20 pennies up at 90 right here if I wanted to. I don't really need to because I know the code, and if the code tells me to get out, I'll get out. But you know, let's say I wanted to turn my back on the trade and I wanted to go walk away. I would absolutely do that. Might as well, at this point, if it's going to go, it's just going to keep on going. It's just going to keep on going up. It's not going to come back down. So if it comes back down, there's no reason not to lock in 20 pennies. So if you're going to turn your back on this trade, you weren't going to manually get out or watch it, you know, go ahead and put 20 penny, lock in 20 pennies. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if it comes back and hits 20 pennies, big deal. At least you lock in 20 pennies. I mean, I'll go ahead and do it right now. I don't need to, but sell stop is at 71 for break even. I'll put it at 91 just to lock in. Oops, wrong one. Just to lock in 20 pennies. So my stop is being applied to at 96.91 to lock in 20 pennies now. Okay, stop is now at 96.91 to lock in 20 pennies. And you can see it on the chart, it would be right here. So, no big deal. Okay, I'm looking at the code here. I need to read the code. Let me pause the video, read the code. Okay, it's now at 31. That's a new high, I believe. No, actually, I did make 31 before. I think it's going to go higher. Not sure about that, but I think it's going to go higher. So, we'll see. Still trying to get a read on the code right now. I've got no read yet. Pausing the video. Okay, I'm trying to get a read on the code right now. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and up the stop from 91. I'm going to lock in 50 pennies. I'm going to put the stop at 97.20, which is going to tighten it right up to where it is. Adjusting the stop now, 97.20. Okay, there's my stop. That locks in 50 pennies if it does come down. And I will go ahead and use the code to re-enter. But if this thing just continues up and goes in breaks right now, then it's going to continue higher. I'll have a chance to make my 100 penny exit. The chance is high for it to do that. That's why I'm locking in the stop, just in case that doesn't happen. So now I can focus in on the long without having to worry about the short. You understand? I'm going to have the computer take care of the problem for me. So it takes out all the emotion. Now I'm just looking to read the code, and if this thing continues up, I got it. If it not, I got 50 pennies. Successful trade. You can see that it is beginning to move up. If it's going to go up now, it's going to disobey the code, and it's going to continue in trend mode. If it does that, we know for sure it's in trend mode at that point. Otherwise, the code is saying it's going to go down. I have a stop locked in. If it does go down, I have my exit in place at 100 pennies if it does go up. So, we'll find out what happens together. Pausing the video. Okay, what's the high on this thing? The high is 33. So if this moves up past 33, it's official. Well, I mean, if it moves up past 33 and then keeps on going, it's official, it's in trend mode. Otherwise, it's going to come down now. There's no way for me to know which one it's going to do. I have to just wait and see. If it goes up, I win. If it comes down to here, I still win. And if I just get out right here, then I don't give it a chance. You know? You always want to give it a chance. A lot of times it won't make it, but in the times it does, it's worth it. Don't always just go for it. I'll tell you, if the code says it's going to go down, just like it said it before, and then it went up. So if it does that same thing again, I definitely got a big winner here. 100 pennies anyway. It's beginning to head towards my stop. Just going to let it go. Nothing wrong with a 50 penny trade, especially when you had lost 22 pennies to start with. It's always nice to make a good trade, to come back and come ahead. So no matter what, tonight I'm going to have a nice trade. I'm going to be nice ahead, and even if I don't do any more trading, I will be fine. But since my purpose is to demonstrate the code, I'm going to do more trading. I'm going to do a lot more trading. And tonight, I'm going to see if I can't catch a really big trade too. Show it to you. I'm also thinking about demonstrating for a month this way of playing the market that I keep talking about, where you play just one day at a time, one trade at a time. And I'm going to do that for a month and keep like a record, a written record, kind of like the stock gapping, and show the outcome of it so that you can see how effective of a method that is. People don't realize it because it seems like just one trade in a day, that you could do so many more than that, but it really helps you. And I think that you should practice that way. I think you'll find that it works very well. But when you first start to learn the code, obviously you want to practice it over and over again. Make your mistakes. And then learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and then adjust and get good at it. Practice it. Then trade one trade per day. But tonight, I should say, Asian market was a good example of how to play the break using the code as your indicator that the break is coming, and then to take the break right when it does break, and then, luckily it just kept on going. A lot of times it won't do that. It'll go up, make a break, and then come back down. You always want to get that protective stop on there as quick as you can. Okay, we have the code indicating that possibly 20 is the entry, right where my exit is, to go long, but it's just a temporary code, and I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to take any chances. Just take my 50 pennies. It's no big deal. Yep. Okay, so the code is indicating that it's giving the code. Hang on a second. Yes, the code is indicating a short signal. Remember, it broke through the code and went into trend. It went into trend once. It went into trend twice. It's likely to go into trend again. So when you see that, you see it's in trend mode and not, in the obeying the code, you simply go with the trend, which I did with that break, which I'm still doing now. And now if it goes up and goes and breaks, it's when full 100% trend mode. Or the code is going to be right and it's going to come down. We will see soon enough. Pausing the video. Just for the record, it did just drop down a little bit right there. The code said it was going to go down, and then it did just go down a little bit. The code does not necessarily say how far. You always go for 20 pennies, but a lot of times it may not make it, especially in a situation like this. So I'm saying, even though the code said it might come down, it may not come down all the way to my exit. Then again, it might. But definitely still was worth it to go for it, because this thing does go into trend mode. I could still dodge a bullet here and still get this thing to go up and go higher. Okay, you can see how the code said it was going to go down. You can see how it has not gone down very much. Now if it continues higher now and goes up towards the HOD here, you can see how the code is showing another possible break and further move into trend mode. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's setting up for it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it might. Pausing the video. It's just sitting up here for a long time. I'm just waiting. It's starting to break again. See how high it goes. Okay, it's breaking here. We're moving on up. Not too much further to go to the exit. My exit is at... My exit is at... Where's my exit? Oh, my exit's at 70. I thought I was at 60 for some reason. There I am. I'm at 70. Ooh, that's a long ways to make it. Alright. Let me pause the video. See what I want to do about this. Alright, we're just at 50 there. The secret code is giving a possible short entry here. It's off of temporary code. It would be for 10 pennies. No way would I gonna bother with that. Got this thing in uptrend, up mode. I've got 50 pennies locked in. I'm letting it go. Adjusting stop to 97.40 to lock in 70 pennies. Adjusting stop to 97.40 now. Stop is now located at 97.40 for a 70 penny profit. Pausing the video. It's moving up a bit here, maybe going for the exit. Come on, baby, give me my 70, give me my 100 pennies. Just need you to get to 70. Almost there. Pausing the video. 10 pennies to go. 9 pennies. Come on, get up there. Almost there. 6 more pennies to go. 5 more pennies. Come on, let's go. Almost there. Piece of cake. It's in the bag. Adjusting stop to 50 to lock in 80 pennies. Adjusting stop 97.50 now. Stop is now locked in for 80 pennies. 5 pennies to go to a 100 penny exit. I have an 80 penny trade locked in. The code is still indicating that it could still go higher. Pausing the video. Looks like I should have exited up there with 5 pennies to go to my exit. But you never know. We'll see. Still might make it. It's going for my stop here. Gonna stop me out for 80 pennies. Looks like it's gonna drop into my stop here. No big deal. I'll gladly take my 80 pennies and walk. Okay, I'm out. Ended with 2,800. Let's do the math on that. That's a 56 penny profit. So up 56 pennies for the Asian session Monday night. Not bad. Almost made 100. I had 95 pennies. Almost made 100. Oh well. No big deal. As you can see though, the power of knowing the secret code, and you make successful trades. I'm going to render out this video, upload it to YouTube, do that before a little while, and I'm going to start trading again tonight to try to catch a big trade for the macro code and for the secret code. So that's the conclusion of this video. Again, as you can see, the power of knowing the secret code. I'll be back with more videos.